The DARPA Launch Challenge is a prize-based challenge meant to demonstrate flexible and responsive space launch. We have one team remaining, Astra, who is attempting to launch something to space here from Kodiak, Alaska, on short notice with minimal knowledge beforehand of their pad, their payload, the orbit they're going to go to, and minimal time to set up and actually get their satellite to orbit. So weather is a really important part of operations here in Alaska. It's something that we have to take account into in our planning. We have to plan for operations that may be outside in regards to, are we going to have winds, are we going to have snow, are we going to have precipitation? So it becomes an integral part of the planning, but in a military context, these are things that we would encounter in the real world. So we have to be able to adapt to those on a sort of dynamic basis and make plans accordingly. So far in the course of the challenge, the weather has had some impact to us. We've had a day where we were hoping to be able to get out and start early in the morning. We had really icy road conditions and we opted to sort of slide things around from a schedule standpoint. Going forward, one of our concerns is that our first intended day for launch, we're actually getting a pretty epic weather event here in Alaska, that the day of launch actually has blizzard conditions predicted. So we are going to move that first attempt from the day that the blizzard's going to come to a later date. But what that requires is a whole slew of replanning on the part of Astra, our competitor. So they have to look at how are they going to safe the rocket, or are they going to leave it out of the pad, or are they going to bring it back in? It's a good stress of the intention to be flexible. So, you had an original plan, you had a set of operations you're going to do, and you've got to be able to change those on the fly in a way that's still safe for the personnel and for the system. So the team plans to roll the rocket probably back inside the tent while we have high winds happening out at the pad. That's primarily for the safety of the system, to make sure that we don't have anything bad happen to it while it's sitting out there. What that requires is a set of tests that have been, and procedures that have been accomplished before. Well, some of those will have to be rerun, some of those won't have to be rerun. So the team has to really on the fly kind of look at what are the critical things that we need to validate to make sure the system is ready for launch, and figure out which of those they're going to be able to do in rapid fashion once the rocket rolls back out. It's exciting and dynamic for the team because this is new for them, and they're sort of, I think, enjoying the experience of having to work through this. We're going to have to deal with the conditions that we have and go from there.